let's talk about this for 1 minute. Cartoon Network and their reboots. Now, Nickelodeon has done reboots over the years too, I think, but it hasn't been to this level bad. Disney's done their reboots too, but it's been successful. I'll bring up two reboots, DuckTales and Voltron Legendary Defenders. And that's how you do reboots. Especially DuckTales. If you are having people now second guessing the original to the point where they say the first two episodes look better than most of the episodes of the original, then yeah, that's saying something. Now, do I think the DuckTales 2017 is better than the original? No, we haven't got that far yet. But I will say this is following the TMNT route from 2012. Because 2012 version, I really do enjoy that version. I had a lot of issues with the CGI, but I mean, it grows on you to the point it became its own series and even better than the original at times. Is it better than the 2003 version? At times, yes, and at times, no. But at least there's a conversation where you can actually say this reboot's better than this. Not for Cartoon Network reboots. Oh no. We'll start with the Powerpuff Girls because I think that's easier to address because it's not that much, but that is a huge failure. I have never seen a reboot go so far and destroy what made the original so good. I have never seen a reboot go so far and try to be trendy and try to be what's going on with hip, what's going on with today's society. It's not trying to tell a good story. I've never seen a reboot so badly executed to the point now that Cartoon Network sees how badly it is and they air once a week on Sunday. Between Teen Titans Go. The reboot, and here's the thing, and I think I stated this in a video before, but I'll state this again. If you got Powerpuff Girls and Steven Universe together, what sense does that fucking make to have a reboot with Teen Titans Go? Why not have a reboot with Powerpuff Girls and Steven Universe? You have three gems that are female, that are strong females, and you have the Powerpuff Girls that are supposed to be strong females, but with the 2016 version, they're not. But you have those two versions. Why not cross them over? Why not do that? Because that would make the Powerpuff Girls look good. Say what you want about Say Uncle, the crossover with Uncle Grandpa, that was actually pretty funny. I'm one of those people who actually said this was the dumbest idea ever, but when it came out and I saw it, I said, you know what? I was wrong. This was actually a good crossover. It's because Rebecca Sugar knew how stupid it was. And she said, yeah, she wouldn't mind doing a crossover with the Powerpuff Girls, and even she said she wouldn't mind writing it. But yet you have two idiots or goofs or goons who's writing the show that don't even know the material. They're just doing their own thing, and not only that, the show is not even... It barely airs. Sometimes I forget it is on the goddamn network because Cartoon Network does a great job of promoting it. It really does. They show everything. Teen Titans Go, Steven Universe. They'll mention Steven Universe. Yeah, but what about the Powerpuff Girl? Yeah, that's somewhere over there. But what about these shows? Because they know how badly it is. But I mean, it's just a disappointment. It's one of those reboots that could have been great. It could have made Cartoon Network a lot of money, but in reverse, it's not great. It's not making them any money because if they did, they would air it as much as Teen Titans Go, but they're not making any money. Not only the show was a huge failure, but it was a bomb. I would not be surprised if the show get canceled. And if it gets canceled, this is something Christina Miller could add to her resume as a fucking failure. You had all the tools there. You had Rebecca Sugar there. Why couldn't you just follow the show? You know what? I'm done talking about it. The show is almost going to be over soon, so it is what it is. Now let's get on to this Ben 10. I think I stated this before, and I say it again. Ben 10 is the definition of 2016 or 17, wherever you saw it, because I saw it in 2016. That version is the utter shit. It makes Omniverse look good, and Omniverse wasn't that good. It was decent, but it wasn't that good. The problem with this Ben 10, and it's trying to recreate the original, but it's worse than the original. And then it cut down the time limit of Ben 10, which I have an issue with the whole 11-minute format. I've always had an issue with the 11-minute format. To me, it does not tell. It doesn't. 11 minutes does not give enough time to tell a story. Excuse me. a constructive story for the characters sometimes, especially Ben 10, because Ben 10 has never been 11 minutes, never been, and you could tell it now that the 11-minute format is hurting it, because if it wasn't hurting it, guess what Ben 10 will be doing? It'll be doing better. It'll air as much as Teen Titans do, but they don't. They barely air it. That's another reboot. That's a fucking failure. Whoever thought that was a good idea, and that's the problem with Cartoon Network today. They always have these 11-minute fucking formats. I don't understand that. Why everything has to be 11 minutes? Why can't you do different things? Like, you gotta have some variety to the network. Because now, like, I recently saw the scheduling, and they had Teen Titans on the scheduling, but there's a line crossing between there. And people, I was kind of confused. I said, why is there a line cross between? And then I said, oh, that's why, because it's only 11 minutes. So if it's 11 minutes, because the original Teen Titans is 22 minutes. It's never been 11 minutes. And this is back in the day where Cartoon Network used to give us 22-minute format shows. Now everything is 11 minutes. It was kind of weird seeing it on the schedule like that and with a line between it. Because Teen Titans Go is only 11 minutes. And that's all their shows, 11 minutes. And I kind of hate Adventure Time and Regular Show. Those were the main two that did it. And I know a lot of people like Adventure Time and Regular Show, but I just did not like how the fact that after those two shows, every cartoon has to follow that format. I think like Steven Universe should have 22 minutes. You know, I think it would probably win an Emmy if it could tell a better story in 22 minutes. Because sometimes they finish it and they end abruptly, and you sit there like, that's it, that's all, and you look around like, okay, Star vs. Forces of Evil, yeah, it's 11 minutes, but guess what? We have another 11 minutes with it. You know what I'm saying? Where Cartoon Network doesn't do that. They show you one 11-minute show, and that's it. You don't see the rest again, and it's kind of weird. You know. I just don't understand the 11-minute format. I don't mind it, but I hate when every show is like that, because when you have every show like that, especially Ben 10, it felt weird because Ben 10 was doing one episode and it abruptly ended. And I was like, what the fuck, is that it? Because I'm used to Ben 10 being 22 minutes. Omniverse was 22 minutes, Alienverse was 22 minutes, Ultimate Alien was 22 minutes, the original was 22 minutes. Why the fuck does that have to be 11 minutes? And it's hurting the show. Same with Justice League Action. It's another good show. But wouldn't the benefit have to be 22 minutes? And that's the big issue with a lot of Cartoon Network shows today. Everything is, 11 minutes. And when you have everything 11 minutes, there's no variety. When you look at Disney XD, there's shows at 22 minutes. There's another one that's 22 minutes. There's 2 shows, maybe 3 or 4 shows, 22 minutes. And the rest might be 11. And if there's 11, there's another episode added to there, so it doesn't feel weirded out. Cartoon Network used to do this shit all the time. All the networks used to do this shit. Hell, even fucking Nickelodeon still does this shit with Loud House. You know, they'll air an old episode first, then they air a new episode with it. Then they'll redo it back and forth. Sometimes they air both, but they still give us a 22-minute format with the same show, because you can't do it differently. But Cartoon Network's been doing these 11-minute formats for a long time, for almost a long time, since 2010, ever since Adventure Time and Regular Show. And to me, it's been hurting the network, per se. And now the network has no imagery and no image. Where I look at it now, I'm like, you are now not Cartoon Network. You are now the 11-minute network. I like to call you. You guys only do 11-minute shows, and it's hurting them too, I think, in a way. But the Ben 10 2016, back to that. Sorry, guys, I went on a long tangent there, but I really don't like the 11-minute format style when it's everywhere. But the Ben 10 2016 suffered because of that. The characters are out of characters. Gwen acts more childish than Ben, which I don't know why they did that, because Gwen was always the conscious of Ben, pretty much. You can't do this, Ben, because you know how the grandpa's going to be. Where now it's more like Gwen, she's right along with Ben. Half the time, Ben was like, Gwen, we can't do this. I'm like, the fuck is this? You know, what the hell is going on? The animation is atrocious. Like, I've never seen the animation so bad for Ben 10 before. Like I said, it makes Omniverse look like an Emmy-nominated goddamn show. And it was nominated for an Emmy. You know, I'm sitting here like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You know, it's great to have majority of the cast back, keyword majority of them back, but I mean, the characters out of characters. And then, let's get on to fucking Vilgax. Now, Vilgax is a man that has been Vilgax is a character that he's not my favorite villain in Ben 10, but he's not the worst villain. The big issue with Vilgax in here, he's voiced by Yuri, the same voice actor who did Ben in the original series. Well, not like Ben 10, the first one, but Ben 10 Ultimate Alien in Alien Force and Omniverse. He's voicing Bill Gatz. Not Steve Bloom, the original voice actor for Bill Gatz, but Yuri. And I sat there like, are you fucking kidding me? Not saying he's a terrible voice actor, but his voice does not fit with the character. And I sit there like, are you guys fucking kidding? Like, majority of voice actors have changed. I'm like, why couldn't you get the original back? What are you guys doing? Bill Gatz is not the same Bill Gatz. He doesn't come off as menacing as he was before. It just doesn't make a lot of sense with the show. You know, there's some episodes there's no action into it because Ben 10, every episode had action from the original even to Omniverse. They always had action to it. That was Ben 10. It was always a action alien adventure show. Now it's a adventure show. It's a comedy, adventure, action show, and action's later. And I'm like, I don't like that. It just is not working. It's not clicking with a lot of people. A lot of old fans are pissed off with it to the point they don't even watch it. The new fans or the younger kids, they don't like it. You know, no one's buying the toys I see because Ben 10 toys, they're not selling either because I still see them in the market. I mean, I know I went to a store and I say, hey, I was like trying to pawn this off to a kid when I was working at retail. And this was about, I think it was last year. Now, they saw the Powerpuff Girls. And this girl came up, and I'll tell you a quick story. And I said, oh, you going to buy the Powerpuff Girls? And this is when I worked at retail. And she's like, oh, no, Powerpuff Girls are lame. And I said, oh, you don't like the show? No, I don't like the show. I don't like the show. Then one dude came in, because he was a fan of the original, and he's like, yeah, ain't nobody buying this version. They want the original version. I said, yeah, no wonder. And then the Ben 10, I think the Ben 10 toys, we got it for Ben 10. And they came in. So, and this was the 2016 or 2017 version. Now, this came in before the show came out. And you could tell that the show was supposed to come out last year, but they changed their idea. But it was too late for the toys. The toys were already made. And we put them on the shelf because we were trying to sell every last one of these motherfuckers. So we were like, let's get rid of these bitches. So we put them on a shelf, and a kid comes by, and because in my department, I handle sporting goods and toys and all that other bullshit. But I for this time, they moved me to toys, and I was like, okay, let's get this shit and just put it up. So I said, yo, you want to buy these new Ben 10? And they looked at it, and they were like, no, it looks weird, it's stupid. And this is a boy, mind you. And I said, okay, what about that Dragon Ball Z toy over there? Bought that toy right there in an instant. I said, oh, okay. I was like, all right. And now, mind you, this is the new Ben 10, not the old one. Now, there was another toy of the old one. They had an old one out. We had the old ones and then the new ones. Now, we put the new ones up. No one bought the new ones. Everybody bought the old ones. I came back one day. I said, what happened to the old ones? They're like, they're gone. I said, who bought them? Some kid. He came in, so he liked those. He said, he didn't buy the new ones? He said, no, he didn't like it. It just looks stupid design. I said, oh, wow. What does that fucking tell you? And I love how these execs in studios say, oh, this is what kids want. Clearly what you did the first time worked. How about you keep doing the same shit and don't try to change it? And stop being fucking cheap with your fucking shows. But yet they don't give a fuck. And this is what kind of pisses me off with a lot of execs today. They assume kids are stupid, which they're not. They're smarter than I was when I was their age. Because the internet now. Kids are not stupid as they were before. You can't outsmart them like you did back in the day. Hell, even back in the day, even execs had more class than they do today. They didn't try to get over our kids as much as they do today. Yes, everything was trying to sell toys, but guess what? They did it in a way that was smart enough. You know what? Kids love action. Let's give them action. Let's not give them comedy. They don't want that. Let's give them action. And that's sold. Now it's more like comedy first and then action, then the toys. More like, no, you dipshit, action first. Because comedy will not sell anything. Never does sell. You probably say, well, it's sold for Adventure Time. Really, was comedy always first or story was first for Adventure Time? Story. Regular show was the same thing. Characters first and then story. Never comedy. Now, they add comedy elements there. But they didn't have enough comedy like a Teen Titans Go to the point where it was like that type of show. And no one likes those shows today. No kids, no adults. We are in an age now where television now are at par with movies. So why you think they have power with movies? It's because the CGI. Yes, that's one reason. Is it because of the special effects are better? Yes, that's one reason. Because they have better stories. Where you can watch a show weekly compared to going to one movie, you pay about $10 and you're like, I'm sitting my ass at home. And that's what people want to see, a story-driven show. Why do you think Gravity Falls got over 2 million fucking viewers on a weekly fucking basis? On Disney XD, mind you. Not Disney Channel, but Disney XD. How the ratings went up when they went to Disney XD. And that's the fucking problem with the networks and execs today. They think this will work, but it doesn't work. Christina Miller is the definition of a stupid fucking idiot. Because if she knew why Ben 10 and Powerpuff Girls were selling, she would have said, no, don't change anything, do like the original, but make it more story-driven and better. Because the original, say what you want about it, it was somewhat story-driven, but wasn't that story-driven to the point where they had every episode overarching, okay? But when they did, it was okay. Because there weren't many episodes where it was like, to be continued. There weren't many Powerpuff Girls episodes like that. Ben 10, on the other hand, did have that. But it wasn't like an overarching story as much. But when they did have it, they did. But they always had action first, though. Where this show, man, you don't have nothing. Nothing. And you wonder why these toys ain't selling. You wonder why kids say they're stupid. You wonder why people say, I'm not watching this bullshit. And I love the saying, they're not aimed for you, they aim for kids. Yet, why they're not being watched. Why kids are not watching. Why they're getting lower ratings than the other shows. So you can say what you want is aimed for kids. But at the end of the day, when the kids ain't watching, what the fuck do you have to say? Not a fucking thing. The only thing you have to say was, we told you. We told you what we told you what you should have done, but you didn't listen. And that's what makes me mad. Because it makes me mad is because we knock on their door, we tell them what they want. But they don't listen to the guys on the internet. Or they don't want to listen to people on the internet. Oh, they're just complaining trolls. Or they're complaining fans. Yeah, they're fans of the original, but guess what? They don't know. They're not kids. They don't know what kids want. Yet, those ratings are telling you otherwise. Yet, your app is not selling as much as you want to. Yet, we keep telling you what you should do, but yet you do this way. And not only you lose more money, but we make you look like fools because we told you what you should have done, but you don't do it. But it's funny, though, when you come to us and ask us to do something for you, like buy the app. Now, they're telling the kids to buy the app, but who are they telling the kids to buy the app for? You think little Timmy, little Jimmy, who's 10 or 9 can get an app? No. Who is he telling? Who's Cartoon Network's calling? Us, the adults. They want us to buy the app now. And we're looking around like, why should we buy anything from you when you can barely fucking listen to us? When we told you years, put this show on a good network. We told you years, this is what you should have done. This whole schedule they're doing changing is a cleanup control of the shit they did with the whole Teen Titans Go marathon. Yeah, they got high ratings, but they weren't high enough that Cartoon Network was looking for. They were looking for 2s. Those bitches didn't even go up to 2s. Now, they were the highest rating they got this year, but guess what? They weren't satisfied enough to Cartoon Network to the point where Cartoon Network now looking around like, yeah, we might need to start changing our game up. These reboots are abomination. They're trash. Ben 10 is the worst thing I see on the planet. How can you fuck up something that made you so much money, and now not only are you losing money, but you fuck up a property that may not be able to make you any money anymore? Powerpuff Girls, you fucked that up. And here's the thing: when you try to corporatize anything, that's when it doesn't sell. Everyone knows this. Stop corporatizing shit. When you start corporatizing shit, it doesn't sell. It doesn't. If it sold, then we wouldn't have this issue. But they don't sell. It makes me kind of mad, too, because I want Cartoon Network to succeed. I want them to get better, but I'm looking at this like, no, I don't want you to fucking succeed anything. I want you to fucking fall on your face till you realize we fucked up. And I want you to do like a DC Reaper style and apologize to me, to everyone. For years, we kept telling you, and we want an apology. We want an apology because we've been trying to help you. We told you what you should do, but you stuck your nose up at us and you said, fuck you. Well, we're telling you, fuck you, because we're not buying the app. I love how people are like, oh, kids can buy the app. No, they can't. Not with a parent's advice and all that other bullshit. I mean, unless they got the app where you don't need a cable provider, which I've heard you don't now. Now that I heard you do, because Adult Swim, you need a cable provider. Then they took that off. They took that off in a heartbeat because they weren't getting no views. Ain't nobody trying to do no cable provider. It's one thing to add it on it, but when you tell us to get a cable provider, it's like, well, then what the fuck? Well, what's the point of getting the app if we gotta get our cable provider? How's that going to work? Is that for security purposes? The fuck? But yeah, guys, I'm done. I think I ran enough. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Peace. Have a fucking Johnson effing motherfucking day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. And guys, let me know down below what you guys think of these goddamn reboots, Ben 10 and the Powerpuff Girls. Just abominations, I'll say. I'm surprised Ben 10 hasn't crossed over with T-Tights Go yet. Probably after Powerpuff Girls, how that it didn't pan so well. I think they're done with the reboots for a while. So, yeah. As always, guys, peace. Have a Johnson day, and I'll talk to you in the next video.